Hey guys, Sue's from Smarting Coaching. How are you? I want to talk to you a little bit today about how outsourcing to help you lighten your load may actually be increasing your load. So if you're interested in this little tidbit, just hang around for a second. So when you outsource things in your day, in your life, as you go, whether it be your housework, at your job, anything that you do, a sporting team, you might outsource the washing to some people, the fruit to some people, the bringing the stuff to whatever it happens to be. And we do that so that we can share the task and lighten the load and make it easier. But sometimes if we're really, really specific about certain tasks, that actually makes our load worse because not only are we handing it over, but we are then micromanaging how it's done. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. There are two things that I've found in life. Sometimes when you hand over or outsource something to your husband, your co-worker, your kids, your friends, family, whoever it is, that's great, but it's something that is actually particular to you. And when they do it, it's not done the way you wanted to, or the amount you wanted to, or in the time frame that you wanted it to be that you would have done. And it causes angst and craziness and stress, and it can cause all sorts of things in your life, right? So my advice here that I have found in living life is if there are things that you are extra particular about, maybe that's not the thing to outsource to somebody else. And I say that here because sometimes we do unknowingly outsource the particular things so that we've got something to whinge about later, especially if it's someone that we don't like, that's annoying us or whatever. That's just a little caveat to put in there because, hey, we've all done that, I think. But here it is to you. If you want something done a particular way, you need to be specific to the person that you're giving the task to. It may involve, especially if it's your kids and you want things done a particular way, it may involve you having to helicopter over that, right? For the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, however long it takes for them to learn how to do it to how you want it to be. So the outsourcing of that may not necessarily bring you any less stress and lighten your load now, but in the future it will because it'll be done. They know the standards that you're expecting, right? But if it's not something that is something that you can show other people or whatever, don't outsource that thing, right? Because that thing obviously is very particular to you. You like it done a certain way, you like it cooked a certain way, you like it to look a certain way, you like it to be a certain way. They're the things that you don't outsource. Don't outsource that one. Because when you outsource a task to somebody else, you need to give that task to them 100%, especially, like I said, if you're doing it to lighten your load. The last thing that you want to do is be having to helicopter or pick on it or say that it's wrong and redo it yourself because it's not to your standard. So give out the tasks that you know that you can let go of 100% and be okay with them being done by that particular person in that particular way. Okay, does that make sense? Because I see so many people. I had a friend once who asked her husband to hang out the washing, and he did. And then she went back out when he came in and rehung it because she liked to have red peg with red peg and blue peg with blue peg on items, and he'd done a red peg and a blue peg on something and whatever. Is that a problem in the scheme of things? No, it's not, but for this woman it was. Right? And she used to whinge and moan and complain about it all the time. So I said to her two things. Does your husband know that's what you want, how you want it to be? And if you really, really want it to be like that, maybe you need to give him a different job to do and you need to do that one so that it's done to your standard and it's not going to cause you stress and having to redo it. Getting your kids to make their beds. Teaching them how to make their beds. You know, it's not going to be done like you because you've been making beds for 20 and 30 years. So you've got it down to a fine art. If you want it done a particular way, you have to stand over them and teach them how to do it and show them, but also give them the space to be able to improve at it, right? Because otherwise, what would you do if you did a job for somebody and then they came in straight behind you and pulled your job apart and redid it? Hey, I know what I'd do. I'd be like, hey, you can do that yourself. I'm not going to do it anymore, right? And so I just wanted to put that forward because I'm watching. And I've watched over my life, and I've done it to some degree too, about the execution and the end result of things that really in the scheme of things didn't matter. You know, people come in and do things to be helpful, but they don't do it the way that you would do it. And then it causes a big angst. Sometimes people come in and do things how they would do it, thinking that they're giving you a helping hand, cooking you a meal, I don't know, doing your washing and ironing for you, tidying up in your house. They're not doing it to be anything about you. They are doing it to help you. But if it's not done to our standards, sometimes we can pick that apart and cause dramas where it doesn't need to be a drama. So I hope that this has been helpful for someone today. It's just a little reminder. Outsourcing can be great, and it can be a really great way to lighten our load. But if you're going to outsource something, be sure to outsource the things that you know that you can completely let go of and be okay with as they come back. Yes, learn from things if perhaps you do give it a chance and it isn't how you wanted it to be, or it's not done on time or whatever. Use that for future knowledge. But at the end of the day, if you are really specific about those things and how they are done, keep those on your list. Outsource something that is, I don't know, something that you can let go of 100% so that it truly does lighten your load. And it's amazing how good it feels when people know that they've done something for you and you can appreciate it and not pick holes in it. Okay, I'm Sue from Smart in Coaching. Take care, and I'll talk to you again really soon.